Well, if it isn't Saucy Jack. Just a little too late, as usual. Armstrong.
Well, now it's time to talk about a real patriot of his country, Senator Armstrong. Now, it should be worth noting that the Armstrong we'll be talking about is his nanomachine enhanced form, but that's the boss form, so that's not really that big a deal. In terms of physical strength, Armstrong was incredibly strong, being able to toss Raiden aside like nothing, along with being able to destroy Metal Gear Excelsius with one indirect punch, and he was able to toss around its pieces with ease. In terms of speed, Armstrong is able to keep up with both Jetstream Sam and Raiden with ease, implying hypersonic speeds. Even his nanomachines would form in response to the incoming trauma fast enough to block their attacks. However, it's worth noting that his nanomachines are not instant, as in the battle with Jetstream Sam. Sam was able to slice off Armstrong's hand before the nanomachines could actually protect it. In terms of durability, Armstrong is extremely durable, able to take punches from Raiden with ease. Someone who before Raiden was actually upgraded into a new robotic body, he could literally throw a Metal Gear into the air. And Armstrong was able to withstand hits from high frequency blades, as you're seeing in the picture, which are things that cut on the molecular level with his nanomachines. His nanomachines are durable enough to withstand the high frequency blade. However, it should be worth noting that in the boss fight, he can take Raiden's punches without hardening his skin. That's not what you're seeing in the picture, that's just that's the first time. And he does die by getting his heart ripped out by Raiden at the end of the game. In terms of powers and abilities, Armstrong does have some degree of hand-to-hand combat training due to the fact that he joined the Navy, or the military, and he does have a college degree, implying a high degree of intelligence, because that kind of, it's sort of implied when he's talking to Raiden that he's smarter than most people. And his nanomachines will harden any part of his body, regardless of the state it's in, and they will reattach severed limbs, as shown in his fight with Sam. They can also heal him, however this does leave him vulnerable, and he can also create explosions on his person along with fissures and columns of fire. These nanomachines require a huge amount of power to activate, and can apparently run out of energy according to a quote I believe from Hideo Kojima, but if that's not the case I'll clarify that later. And they do grant Armstrong electromagnetic powers. Armstrong also seems to have a rage mode, but from what I've seen of it, it only makes him faster, doesn't really make him more powerful. So now it's time to talk about things Armstrong actually has under his command. Due to being in charge of World Marshal, a PMC, Armstrong has access to Metal Gear Rays, like the one you're seeing in the picture, and his own personal Metal Gear, from what I understand, which is Excelsius. Which is a massive robot that has plasma cannons, 2 massive swords, and has missile modules. Yeah, he destroyed that with one indirect punch. Yeah. And now it's time to talk about the Winds of Destruction. All the Winds of Destructions are cyborgs who can keep up with Raiden, implying hypersonic speeds, and they are obviously stronger and more durable than most humans, not counting Armstrong. I'm not going to do Jetstream Sam in this video. I think he kind of deserves his own video, sort of like how Steve Burnside did for Resident Evil. But anyways, this is Sundower, the California Firewind. He uses an extremely durable explosive armor, sort of like a shield, and he has 2 high-frequency machetes which can be combined to be like pincers, and that's basically it for him. The next one is Mistral, the Cold Wind of France. She can attach multiple arms to her body, up to 14. She could throw around tripods with enough force to she could throw tripods hard enough to where they catch on fire in midair, and they do explode when hitting people. And she had a spear whip combo called the L'Entranger. I don't know, I think that's in French, but I haven't taken French in a long time. Which could also be used as a grappling hook, and that's her spear thing she's holding on to. The next Wind of Destruction is Monsoon, the Wind of Southeast Asia. Monsoon had the ability to split his body into sections which could separate for considerable distances and were held together by magnetic forces. This magnetic power could extend to other objects like helicopters and even a massive concrete obelisk. He could also walk upside down metal areas thanks to his magnetic power, and he could jump far greater than Raiden, but he was still weak to EMPs, and he had a pair of size called Dystopia, and he used red phosphorus grenades. Also, he has this sort of mist moments. He has a few missed moments in this boss fight where he basically seems to be teleporting around the mist to come out of nowhere, but that could just be how the boss fight's made. The last one we have to cover is Kamsin, the Desert Storm. He was, I believe, an amputated soldier with a mech suit that wielded a massive chainsaw axe. The axe was actually too heavy for him to lift, but he fought with jet propulsors on the axe and his own mech suit to give him speed and allow him to use the axe. And that's basically it. I think next week I'll cover Jetstream Sam, and then I don't know who I'll cover after that. So thank you for your time, and have a good night.
But now I'm not so sure. And besides, this isn't my sword.
Come on!